G'day folks and welcome to the major semi-final of the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup. We're coming to you live from Ballymore as this season's minor premiers, the East Tigers, battle it out with reigning Hospital Challenge Cup premiers, the University of Queensland Rugby Club, for a spot in the grand final. My name is Jay Staunton, and joining me in commentary today we have 2013 third grade premiership hero and my best friend in the whole entire world, Chips Blanche. Chips, how are we, brother?
I'm good, thank you, Jay Ball.
Mate, it's absolutely massive, Ricky B. We have a hell of a final series on our hands over the coming weeks. Obviously, today we've got East versus UQ going toe-to-toe, and then tomorrow the finals, newcomers Bond University, they slug it out with perennial finalists Jeeps Rugby Club. How bloody good is this?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, there's a great story around East getting here as well, with guys like Aidan Toa, Ben Moen coming back to the club, and Bond making their first finals appearance, I think, in a very long time. When was the last time? Was it Gold Coast?
The Breakers. Yep, in the mid-2000s we would have seen them.
Well, we're old enough to remember that. So.
Unfortunately for us. But, mate, it's absolutely awesome to see them here and getting a chance to slug it out tomorrow at Ballymore Stadium for a spot in the prelim next week. But 2020 has been a crazy year, Ricky B. We've got QPR footy that was essentially a sprint to the finish line, but it's a different kettle of fish when it comes to finals. And speaking of, they're our four sides right there. Eastern Uni, both finishing on 33 points, Bond on 31 and Jeeps on 29. I mean, that goes to show how close it was, and finals means something completely different, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at a team like Jeeps sneaking in, every team's going to be worried about them. I mean, they're a great finals team, same as UQ, plenty of runs on the board, both of those clubs when it comes to finals footy. So really exciting matchups and really looking forward to today.
Well, in anticipation of this year's final series, Reds TV caught up with both skippers from today's major semi-final to get their thoughts on today's match. Let's have a look at and see what they had to say.
It's been a really rewarding year, but you know, the target's never been to get a minor premiership, it's to get the full premiership. So look, it's a pretty special time of year to be involved, but we've got our eyes firmly on what the task is ahead. I've really loved it. It's obviously a really special club to myself, and it was disappointing last year for us to finish in the semi-final and on a really poor performance, and I wasn't fortunate enough to qualify last year, so I spent the day running the water, and we had a lot of time under our posts to reflect on how we should have improved. So look, it's been good motivation for us this year coming into the season, and that's been a really rewarding thing, is that commitment from the whole squad and the whole club's been there from the very first day of pre-season. So for me, I feel really fortunate that I've got to have a season like this where other responsibilities around junior Wallabies were taken out of our hands and removed, but it freed up my time to really be committed to East and the course this year. So it meant instead of me jumping in and out of sessions throughout the year, I got to be part of it right from day one, so that was really rewarding. I can't remember the last time, I think it might have been 2009, that we were holders of the Doherty Shield, even though it's joint this year. As you mentioned, pretty much every grade is in the finals and has a great chance of going further. So, you know, there's a real buzz around the club. You know, and that's the thing about this year. It's been guys coming back who potentially weren't going to come back, but under COVID restrictions have made the time to come back and commit to the club, and that flow-on effect's been felt right down through the grades. But more importantly than that, it's the support each grade gives each other. You know, you tunnel the team out that runs out after you, the support that guys stick around and make the crowd really vocal. That's a special part of club rugby.
Yeah, so East we admitted we probably weren't physically up for it, but then going into a few games throughout the season where we did encounter some really big physical teams such as West, Jeeps, Brothers, we learned from that match against East, and we managed to get away with the chocolates in those games. And obviously some of the new guys I've been really impressed with. Matt Greeley for a start. Yeah, he has some flair, but he also has a good head on him. And some of his decision making lately going in the back season's been a lot better. Will Roach, he's topped our tackle count pretty much every single week and top breakdowns hit. He's been awesome. Two of the young props from Melbourne as well, when they've played for us, Alex Saga and Izzy, they've come a long way as well.
Great stuff there from both Pat Morey and Ben Mowen, who have been absolutely immense for both their sides this season. Now we can see UQ, Pat Morey has led them onto the field, so we'll quickly run through the University of Queensland team sheet. And Ricky B, you run us through the forward pack, mate.
Yeah, up front we've got Richardson, Nasser and SJ Tamala, very experienced front three. Angus Scott Young, Connor Vest in the second row with Connor Mitchell, Pat Morey and Sam Wallace locking in at the back there.
And then in the halves, Jordan Lanack and Scotty Gale back after missing last weekend. Mac Greeley, the youngster on the wing with 3GH, Sam Edwards on the other wing, James Wood, Con Foley in the setters, and Jock Campbell at fullback. Now Chips run us through the East starting pack.
Yeah, up front again, this time George Francis, Richie Asiata, Reese Van Neck, Mitchell Snyder partnering Sarah Uru in the second row, Tom Milosevic, Michael Gunn and Ben Mowen in the back row. That's red hot.
That is an absolutely immense back row. And speaking of immense, Eli Pills and Jack Frampton, huge inclusions, both of them in the halves. And then on the sting, you got Dylan Tycato Simpson partnering up with the Burdekin Cane Toad Shane Kennedy in the centres, Matt Smith and Landon Hayes and Aidan Toa at fullback. So we are moments away from kicking off the 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup Final Series. We've got our major semi-final here, and it's the East Tigers going toe-to-toe with the University of Queensland, and it's Jack Frampton getting us underway. Leaves that one to hang up in the air. It bounces off the chest of Michael Gunn, but Con Foley does well to get down on that. Vest with an early carry. Good strong run there from the second rower. Nasser now. And Uni looking to swing it nice and early. Looking to hold on to that pill. Van Neck coming in hard there. Some serious sting already from the Tigers in defence.
Ooh.
And there's plenty of breakdown pressure there, but referee Nick Berry says advantage to the heavies.
And look, yeah, he almost got away with it. I think Berry might have got a call from the touch there. Sneaky little hand coming through, playing the 9.
And Gale finds Con Foley, the two experienced campaigners in this heavies back line. Speaking of experience, Mitchell. Good dart here. Lanack finds Connor Vest, goes straight through. Vest looks right with a little flick pass, and it's Tycato Simpson. Puts that one on the toe. You can see Ben Mowen getting 10-2 in the bottom of your screen as the heavies now having to work their way out from their own 22 zone. Mac really beats one, nearly beats 2 and 3. And Wallace now. Great start here from the heavies, chewing up metres with ease.
Yeah, exactly right. And they're really playing an up-tempo brand of footy here, and it's paying off for them. Really moving east around the park well.
Gale looks to sing it now. Campbell gets inside Uru. Vest with another good carry. Gale looks inside, finds Richardson. The heavies marching up towards the Tigers 22. Mitchell does just that, up over the 22 now. Heavies chewing up the phases. Lanack milks that penalty brilliantly. Wood. Penalty advantage for the heavies now. Dipping past Lanack, picked up by Gale, finds Foley, gets the hands free. Smith's on that, but it comes back, really goes through. Gale looks to get the hands free in contact, unable to do so. Still comes back for the heavies. Foley. Here we go, SJ Tamala now up towards the 5 metre line. Good clean out, Scott Young. Wallace goes off the right. Millimetre short. Lanack goes digging, finds his skipper Morey. Dribbles it into his hands. He's driven back. Vest now. And Connor Vest picks up the first 5-pointer. 3 minutes, Ricky B, non-stop. And the heavies have come away with a little bit of meat nice and early.
And very deserving that man gets it, Connor Vest. Been one of the best for UQ all season and one of the best in that 3 minutes. Carried hard, and you can see from UQ's statement of intent, J-Ball, they're going to blow East off the park.
And we were talking before the game, Chips, we were saying, I mean, as long as Uni can get that scrum parity, which was one of their pitfalls, we saw Pat Morris saying they didn't really have that intensity when it came to the set piece to get them up. If they can get that, they can run them off the park, and early on they've shown they're going to do just that.
Massively, and what was really impressive in that as well is the speed of the ball coming out to Lanac there. Now we know East are really good at slowing down the breakdown, and Uni are obviously just hammering them at the breakdown, not allowing them and getting really good quick ball.
And they've finally got some big bodies in their forward pack. If there's one pitfall they tend to have, they love to play that high-tempo footy, so they tend to have to try to pick some players that do add some starch. Angus Scott Young, for one, obviously, partnering up with Connor Vest, SJ Tamala. 3 of your best line benders are finally starting for them, and they're really starting to pay a bit of some dividends.
Yeah, and good heads-up players as well. We saw SJ Tamala there, and that's not Jock's best kick. He'll want that one again, but look, if they keep playing the way they are, he'll get plenty more other opportunities at the post.
Now we're going to chuck it down to Marty Lippiett, who's on the sideline, who's going to bring us an update on the injury to Ben Moen.
Thanks there, Jason. Down here, and Benny Mullins had to leave the field of play. A bit of claret on the brow, but I think it really hurt the Tigers there. They were down numbers, and they had to wait till the break in play, and that was the try to see Philly Kuroi Vunilagi get on the field. So they're going to need to respond here.
And respond, it looks like UQ's going to do. As Wood goes through, gets the hands free, finds Scott Young, who's fallen very awkwardly and he's clutching at his knee. That looked very bad for the St. George Queensland Reds. Back rower, but Foley goes through, breaks the first attempt to tackle. They're playing quick footy here. Tamala.
East just don't have an answer right now. This is really impressive from UQ.
Great line there. Wood gets up towards the 5 metre line. It's a skipper now. Murray. Uru's on that. Mitchell. The heavies looking red hot here. Gale finds Greeley, the hot stepper. Greeley gets on the outside of Kennedy.
Oh, not too many people can do that to Shane Kennedy, but he made it look easy.
No, one of the best defensive wingers in the game, Shane Kennedy. It's tough to get on the outside of him, but Mac Greeley, if anyone's going to do it, it's the 18-year-old hot stepper out of Downlands College. He is an absolute beast, this kid.
Exactly right, Jay. And he always backs himself. I don't think I've ever seen him not try and get on the outside of someone, take the safe option, cut back in. Backs his ability, and right there proves that why he's got so many wraps on him.
And look right here, smart play there. Maury gets the hands free, and just that support play. They had 3 players coming up the guts. And it's here, Angus Scott Young brought down awkwardly there. Did not look good, and he is hobbling a little bit. And he's being tended to in back play. But Mac really, as you said, Chips, just backs himself. And it's so good to see.
Absolutely, and we'll see Jock Campbell lining up again. Not where he wants to be taking his first couple of kicks from, but hopefully this will go better than his last.
Okay. What happened then? Yeah, he's certainly been practicing his goal kicking whilst part of that red squad has. Jock Campbell so steps up, strikes this one much better, but just a little bit too much right to left on that. Yeah. So the scores remain 10 points to 0, and Angus Scott Young is still down in back play. Chips, and referee Nick Berry gives the whistle a double blast.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jabo, we were not expecting something like this. Talking before the game, we were thinking this was going to be an arm wrestle. A lot of pressure at the breakdown from both teams. We look at the back rows both teams have picked. As we see here, this is Ben Moen catching something to the eye there.
Looked like he might have just head clashed with Sam Wallace. Just here. Oh, no,
he's got a boot. Oh, that's not fun.
Straight boot to the grill. And Angus Scott Young, so we were talking, Chips, that Angus Scott Young is going to give them so much more parity. It's at scrum time. We saw a couple of weeks ago against the Doggies when he came on, completely changed the game. And that is where they needed to shore up if they wanted any chance to try to really stifle this East set piece. But it's good to see him still out there, but it'll be interesting to see if he can last too much longer.
Oh, exactly really right. But you can see that Uni don't want to let it become a set-piece battle. They're saying, no, we're going to blow you off the park early. It's just incredible footy from Uni early on. hardly put a foot wrong.
That's your man.
The Heavies now still 8.5 minutes in and still attacking. The Tigers not having any opportunity thus far. And here we go, their first chance now. Frampton swings it in, finds Aidan Toa, who opts to put that one on the toe, but sits up for Scotty Gale now. Not the tactic that's really going to bear fruit for them, you'd have to say, Chips.
No, and look, East have just got to get down the right end of the park here. I mean, here we go, Toa looking like he might make a break here.
Great work there, Toa. Beating that first defender, getting up over the 10-metre line. Smith going into half now. And the Tigers surely want to build some phases, but it's the Beaver getting absolutely lit up by the opposing Heavy second rowers. And that's the new man, Philemoni Kunilangi, having come on from Moen. And here we go, the first opportunity now for the Tigers.
But we did just see there, Joe, but good breakdown pressure from UQ, pressuring the halfback, something that East haven't really been able to do to Lanac. So while I am looking forward to this scrum battle, what's really interesting is that you look at both packs here from Uni and East, they picked really similar packs. You've got Sarah Uru usually playing in the back row, Angus Scott usually playing in the back row, and then Michael Gunn Milosevic and Maury and Connor Mitchell. You got two open side flankers on either side of the scrum, so really similar choices up front from both coaches. So yeah, it is going to be a fast-paced game with all those guys on the park.
You can expect it to be fast-paced and an absolute hell of a breakdown battle for the remaining 70 minutes. That man there, we saw, Tom Milosevic, who's been absolutely immense this season. He's been the pivotal back row player, in my opinion, for the Tigers. Ben Moen is obviously Ben Moen. Michael Gunn, when he's on, is an absolute freak. But Tom Milosevic, his support plays, transition lines, his work over the ball is absolutely awesome. And the Serbian Chuck Norris has been absolutely immense for the Tigers this season, so expect him to go absolutely hell for leather against Pat Murray today.
Yeah, exactly right. He's a really disruptive player, and that's exactly what you want from your blindside or open side flankers. So really, East have just got to find a way to get themselves into this game, and a couple of reset scrums here, give them a chance to catch their breath, figure out what the hell's happened, and what to do next, because at the moment, though, Uni are looking unstoppable.
Well, this has been their bread and butter all season. Set a good platform at the set piece and really start to work on those fringes inside the 15 and sidelines. So, perfect opportunity here. Midfield scrum.
Keep it up.
And here we go. The Tigers really putting pressure on this near side here. George Francis getting up and through. Smith isolated here. Edwards is on that. And Pills goes through, gets the hands free, finds Asiata. Here we go, the Tigers getting a sniff. Toa into first receiver. Hayes. The Tigers chewing up metres well now. Good ball. Uru.
You would have heard referee Berry that the Tigers still having advantage. UQ, Angus Scott Young creeping offside. Good run there by Gunn.
And the Tigers looking to use the full width of the field. Asiata now gets the Pistons going. 1-2. And penalty here for the Tigers offside. And surely they're just going to put this one in the corner, Chips.
Yeah, I think you've got to. It would be tempting to have a crack at the scoreboard. You are 40 out and right in front, but yeah, I don't think you're going to beat UQ today taking the shots at goal. But prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
I think Ben Moen might know a little bit more than you. Then. Sorry, Ricky B.
Just a little.
Just a smidge.
Give yourself a chance to stay up, and I'll work on his elbow.
But no, I do understand it, because again, it gives them a chance to settle, and if they get some points on the board and come back in
they need to slow the game down.
They do.
That's fine, and hide up.
But good for them. They'll take a lot of positivity out of Richie Asiata getting some good front foot ball, getting through some phases, drawing the penalty. Eli Pills having a really good dart getting his arms free, that's going to really help them find their way into the game.
They're really going to have to smother this Heavies outfit who love to play high-tempo footy if they are going to come away with a dub here today, Ricky B. But this man right here, anywhere inside 40, and he's going to shoot the lights out, you'd have to think so. Smart finals football shown here by Moen, and it's Eli Pills looking to add the first points for the Tigers. He struck that well, keeps it low, but just pushes it to the left hand of the upright. So, definitely would have been chasing some early points there, Chips, but they're starting to get some form of ascendancy when they get that ball in hand.
Yeah, just working themselves into the game, that's the main thing. And they've got to make sure now that off this drop kick from Gale, they bring it back into the right end of the park. They've got to stay down UQ's end now.
And here we go, Reece Van Neck sticks
fun.
it under the wing and goes boom far. Don't you love it? Sam Wallace looking to absolutely shot him.
Oh,
but
full
they've
head
got
of
the
steam.
penalty advantage.
God, you've got to love that. How often do you see the title loser get the ball off the return drop
With a
kick?
60-metre charge. And he's stinging with that one. I don't know if he's winded or if he's just out of breath from having to run 40 metres full tilt.
I think he's out of breath.
He's just gassed. But Sam Wallace, I think it was Hamish Richardson maybe, or Connor Vest were right up for this one.
In all seriousness, there might not be a lot of arms in that.
Oh no, it was SJ Tamala. Tight head on tight head.
We'll see here.
Gardouche.
Yeah, there's no arms in that. He hasn't even bothered trying to wrap there. So definitely a penalty, maybe even a card.
No, but I'm glad Nick Berry's just gone for the penalty. Let the boys play. Great to see. We've seen him do it a few times this season. Reece Van Neck with the hit up. And hasn't he been good this year? Massive inclusion, Matt Smith.
Big loss for Wes, but really has found a home there at Tigerland, and he's made that jersey his own. He's been one of their best all year.
Good ball there. Van Neck finds Gunn at the top of the jump. And Uru gets up over the 22 now. Toa.
Yeah, playing. And he's 12 offside.
And penalty advantage now for the Tigers. Maury's on that.
He's good. 12 red, offside.
And it looks like it was Wood offside there in midfield. So the Heavies, you can see, looking to play high-intensity football on both sides of the ball, Chips. And
that's it.
There have been a couple of penalties thus far already.
Yeah, and UQ will be disappointed at that because it's bringing East back into the game. You know, with the fast start that UQ had, the last thing you want to do is give away soft penalties.
We had 2 penalties for offside, but on one of those occasions, we had 3 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just hear Nick Berry there talking to UQ about giving away multiple penalties in a row. So they'll want to cut that out because if you bring East back into the game like this, well, we know they've got points in them.
Yeah, and uncharacteristically, we saw Eli Pills last week shank one from right in front and missed this one early on here today. So usually an absolute laser off the shoe. Should be able to sneeze this one over. And he's done just that, has Eli Pills. So 10 points to 3 in favour of the Heavies, but the Tigers are on the board. And yeah, you can just see there Wood about a half a metre offside. And the Tigers boys in full force up on the hill, the 4X hill. And Moen.
What a take.
With an absolute specky just outside the 22. Toa stepping into first receiver once again. The Burdick and cane toad. Shane Kennedy's caught off guard now. Could be isolated, does well to get that pill back, but Eli Pills has knocked it on. So the Heavies now. Great opportunity here for the students.
Yeah, exactly right. And we saw, I'm not sure whether it was Pat Murray, Connor Mitchell, or the new man Lillycrap out there who forced that turnover, but caught Shane Kennedy behind the line and pressured him well there. What a take from Moen. Showing his class, J-Ball.
Oh, mate, he's an absolute gun. The Beaver. Mitch Schneider, who's been fantastic for the Tigers, having come through the system, and his defensive line-out work is second to none in the competition. So we've seen Angus Scott Young go off because of that knee. So Fergus Lillicrap is on the pitch now. So I think the Tigers would definitely sense a bit of blood in the water here, Ricky B.
Oh, look, I think we'll see a bit of pressure come through from UQ trying to assert themselves here. Midfield scrum, but also East trying to get that set-piece dominance.
Asiata quite high there, but brings his height down, and here come the Tigers, seriously putting some pressure on. It's wheeled, but the Heavies have done well to get that pill back. Vest. And penalty advantage now.
Let it go. Six, let it go.
Oh, Milosevic. Good niggle there by Tom Milosevic.
6. Penalties against you. This is not with you, it's him not rolling, okay? But as soon as the penalty's blown, put the ball down.
He says he was fine, says Tom Milosevic.
Yeah. Good bit of chirp from Milosevic there. And you could hear some of the East players, like they're happy for Milo to give that penalty away because you're slowing UQ's ball down, and UQ looking like they may, given how well they've been playing, might have scored a try there and taking the 3 because it's hard to knock it back, and East probably think we'll take that.
And I think UQ here, very unlucky not to get that scrum penalty. You'd think it looked like George Francis was stepping around a little bit, but I think early on, Tigers definitely trying to show that they are going to put some pressure on scrum time.
And look, I'd agree with you there. I'm not sure they were really scrummaging straight, but we're going forward, and we know referees really look for that, dominance, like who's going forward more so than anything. Who's got the best shape going forward.
Jock Campbell adds the extras there, extends that lead once again to 10 points now. Let's kick it down to Marty Lippian, who's on the sideline.
Go down early in the half, a bit of a niggle on the knee. It looks like he's succumbed to it. Inside of the knee, he's got a big wad of ice strapped to it now. So Lillicrap on. University in the lead, 13-3.
Cheers for that, Marty. So, just confirming Angus Scott Young off the pitch for Fergus Lillicrap with that knee issue. So, hopefully for the Heavies, it's nothing too serious, as they do have a second bite of the cherry for next week. And we see the ball bouncing off the grill there of S.J. Tamala. And it's scrappy stuff at the back here from the Tigers and bundled into touch. So the Heavies applying the blowtorch here to the Tigers.
Yeah, great pressure coming through there. And what you'd probably say was just a poorly executed kick, but finals footy, if you can take advantage of those sort of opportunities, UQ are the sort of team that always does.
And just taking their time, Josh Nasser, we've seen prop come hooker in his time over the COVID break with the Queensland Reds. Great to see him getting some time down in Clubland. A good throw there, but great defensive work coming in, Ben Moen. That defensive line-out work from the Tigers is absolutely immense, Chips.
Yeah, Ben Moen, even when he was playing for Australia, he was great in the air, and all season for East, he's been incredibly dominant on defensive line-outs. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I reckon he's stolen more than he's won on their own ball.
So the Heavies now with another opportunity just outside the Tigers' 22. It'll be Nasser with the throw once again. Looking into the sun, and Moen gets up in front. Ball goes over the top, but it's cleaned up by Gale. Wallace finds Morrie. Good second effort on the ground from the Heavy skipper. And Mitchell gets up over the ad line, gets the hands free, finds Morrie.
Keep going, please.
The Heavies looking to work down that blind side.
Is that all play on there, Pooh? Okay.
And Nick Berry says play on, so still an opportunity here for the Heavies working up towards the Tigers' try line. Lanac just taking his time.
Ball's out.
Just a couple metres short.
This is good patient footy from Uni. Just working over the game line there, retaining the pill.
Nasser. Bobbling in the back there, Lillicrap now. Wrapped up, gets the offload away, finds Wood, who gets over. And that's try time. And it's James Wood picking up a 5-pointer.
And look, that's great work from UQ. We've seen the real positive they've taken, not just the scoreboard, but every time they've come down into East 22, they've come all over.
That's it, Chips. They're racking up points any opportunity they get. Tigers haven't had many, but Uni are at least just keeping that scoreboard ticking over. And now a 15-point lead with a relatively easy kick to come. They're looking red hot, are the Heavies?
They sure are, and it's that ball retention, not just strong carries, but they're not giving the East forwards any chance to get over the ball, slow the pill down. I mean, Lanak's getting really clean service there at the back of the breakdown, and we know East are notorious for messing up the opposition's pill at the breakdown, so really impressive from UQ's forward pack.
And it's no lack of trying. I mean, we've seen Gunn, Milosevic and Moen over that pill massively today, but they're just playing such a high tempo brand of footy that they're probably half a yard ahead of them and just stifling them.
Yeah, and we saw it in the reserve grade game where East had a really strong start and was the better team for the majority of the game, but you've got to remember it's pretty hot out there. We're not used to playing footy this time of year, and it looked to me like in reserve grade that East got a bit tired towards the end. If UQ keep this up-tempo game, I'm not sure East will be able to stay with them.
Oh, good kick off there, just left that one hanging from Frampton. So here we go, the Tigers now with a great attacking opportunity. A scrum, 22 out on the 15 Chips, big blind side. Surely they're going to try to get up on Reece Van Noneck's side and open up that blind side a bit.
No, well, and they might do that, or they might, typically East like to get up on the loose head side. They'll get Gorgeous George pressuring Tamala there, similar to the other scrum we saw. Keep it in and then work for a penalty. Once you get the advantage, you can let it sing because they want to be able to either go back to the scrum or kick to the corner and back them all because we know they've got a good maul.
Well, no matter what they do, they've just got to build some phases and try to come away with some points to wrestle back this 17-point lead. But you can see the Heavies are right up for this one. And they just go off the back through. Moen gets up over the ad line, gets the offload away. Gunn bobbles that one.
No, not on, boys. You've got a hand to it's gone forward.
And Wood still playing. But unfortunately for him, boy's got a hand on it, so you can see some serious pressure. It was very tight going there, Chips, but...
Yeah, a little bit lucky there, East. I mean, that could have quite easily been a turnover to Uni. I think the scoreboard is getting away from them, but it's really early in the game, so a bit of patience here from East. Try and work some more penalties at scrum time, all the like, and... if you get too helter-skelter there and don't make the most of your opportunities, UQ are just going to... We know they can go from one end of the park to the other really quickly.
Right, Alex, come on. Let's do it again. Hurry up. Use your mark. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, don't you love it, Chips? This front row is chirping at each other.
27 minutes and Barry's sick of it already.
Get used to it, Bez.
Bind! Set! Hold!
And an early push there, you saw it straight away and hinging.
Well, you can see, like, UQ don't look like they're overextending for mine, and they're not stable. So I'm not surprised that the picture Barry's seeing, was resulting in the shot at goal here because UQ just a bit wishy-washy there at scrum time.
Interesting choice going for the points here, Chips. Not only a 17-point lead, plenty of footy yet left to play though. But as you just said, UQ look like they're getting a bit shaky at the set piece. So strange to see them going for the points early on.
I would have kicked for the corner there. I mean, you're down 20-3 and game's getting away from you. Go to the corner, back your maul, and that also slows the game down and get a bit of fatigue in Uni. I mean, kicking the points here just gives UQ a bit of a breather. Yeah,
pull them into the mud a little bit. And we see Pills now steps up, strikes that one well, and adds the extras. So 20 points to 6.
Yeah, we look here. I mean, it's just there's no stability.
SJ Tamala was massively overextended there. And then right here, as soon as the pressure comes on, bang, straight down. Oh, fielded well there, Milosevic. He gets picked up and driven into the turf here at Ballymore by James Wood. Smith hit hard as well. This Heavies defensive line coming up quick. Hills drops that one just inside the touchline. Campbell has to pick that one up. Great work there from Jock Campbell. Foley brings Nasser back under, goes straight into Reese Van Nonek. And that's a brilliant kick there by Lanack, just dropping it inside the Tigers 22. And a great opportunity now for Campbell.
Yeah, plenty of space out there. Great hands from Foley.
And Greeley now breaks the first tackle. Uru's on that. Brilliant work there by Seru Uru.
Yeah, big play there because, UQ looking a bit dangerous there. Greeley always dangerous with ball in hand, but East have got to make sure their kicks are going into touch J-ball. You can't give guys like Greeley and Jock Campbell too much space.
Not at all, and we saw a couple of weeks ago when we were commentating that West versus UQ game, the real difference was the box kicking from Jordan Lanack. That short kicking game they've got contestable, hits the edges really well, typically finds plenty of turf. It's a very smart kicking game that Jordan Lanack's got for this Heavies outfit.
Red, have a look, boys.
A great shot there coming on James Wood. And just Scott Gale not able to move Seru there. And back to the action here. Gunn gets up towards the 10-metre line. Murray making an absolute pest of himself. Uru gets her hands free. Brilliant ball, finds Van Neck, puts that one on the toe. But no one chasing through it. Gale just absolutely clobbers that one down towards the Tigers 22. Kennedy decides to take that one quick. Toa has a man outside him. Ty Cato Simpson opts to put the little dinky kick over the top. Contestable, good work, but unable to snatch that one was Fergus Lillicrap. So worked out well for the Tigers in the end there, Chips. But
yeah, it did. You've got to go back to the opportunity. Van Neck down the far side. Really good opportunity to hold on to it, I think, recycle and stay down the right end of the park. I mean, not bad execution, really.
No, that was an absolute perler of a grubber back inside.
But I think everyone would have preferred if he'd just taken it in and they recycled, built some phases inside the East 22.
And one thing I love about some of the youngsters in this game, guys like Reese Van Neck, Matt Greeley and co, we spoke about it before, they back themselves. We've seen Reese Van Neck put grubbers in, put the offload away. Some of the youngsters aren't afraid to really let their hands sing and play some high-tempo footy.
No, that's it. The skill level's pretty high for these guys coming out of Colts. And again, they back, like you say, they back themselves, and you don't want to stifle that, but sometimes just put it away.
Put it in the back pocket, Chip says. From one front rower to another tower now. Bouncing at the back, and Mac really says thank you very much.
Oh, that's too easy. You saw that coming a mile away. That is heartbreaking for East.
Mac really picking up his second 5-pointer of the day, just says, thank you, Toa. Too easy for him in the end. And as you said, Chips, absolutely telegraphed it.
Massively, and we'll see here on the replay that, if Toa could have his time again, would not have thrown that.
Yeah, he's trying every day of the week. Mac really was going to nab that one.
Yeah, and we saw just then, 2 tries today, 8 for the season, shortened season as well. First year out of school.
He's a freak.
That's not bad.
He's an
straight into
absolute
first
freak.
grade. 8 tries in your debut season, 2 in the major. This is
Semi-final.
Semi-final, yeah. Majors and minors, mate. They get confusing.
It's all right, Ricky B. We'll let it slide. So 27 points, plays 6 in favour of the Heavies. But we've seen as well with Mac Greeley, a lot of the time he actually picks up doubles. He'll nab one, then nab another. He tends to really fire hard when he's on song, which he is a lot of the time. He really goes hard. Well, Frampton now.
UQ are very smart as well. They know to get the ball in his hands. You see with Con Foley, I mean, he's a guy that's not really, he's not trying to do too much. He knows all I've got to do is get the ball in this man's hands.
And Wood, great strong carry there from the centre.
Hey, one, wait.
Campbell,
There you go.
good probing kick, gets that down towards the Tigers' try line, but there's a little bit too much pepper on those eggs. Has it dribbled over? It has. So that is a very fortunate bounce for the Tigers, going back almost to the Heavies, 22, and Chips. So far, only 2 penalties for all their efforts down that end of the field. They need to get a try.
Exactly right, and they've just got to stay down here, not just come away with points, but stay down here. I mean, we haven't really seen them in UQ's 22, and they've got to find a way to get there and start to keep the ball out of UQ's hands. At the moment, UQ just not only dominating the scoreboard, but controlling the tempo of the game.
Let's go, guys.
There it is here, just literally.
Nice and straight, guys.
Oh, wide roll of the ball too far. So a big blind side here on the left if the Tigers want to use it, but they've stacked to the open. Toa standing at 10.
Advantage.
And there's a penalty advantage from the scrum. Smith rubbers that one through. Hayes goes after it, and it's still bobbling through. Toa puts it on the knee, picks it up, puts it down, and that's try time. Aiden Toa, just as we said, Chips, that's exactly what the Tigers needed.
Yeah, and it came through the dominance at scrum time, and knowing that they had the penalty so they can chance their arm a bit,
But that's it. Why not chance your arm clear when you don't have the advantage? They need to start throwing a few more barbs at the Heavies. Thus far, they've been playing a little bit one out and looking to go to the fringes a little bit too early. Why not do some of those dinky little kicks? Why not try to play a little bit more up-tempo and try to play the Heavies game against them a little bit?
Exactly. Well, they've got to now. I mean, look behind on the scoreboard, and great heads-up play here from Smith. Sees the space in behind, but yeah, they've got no choice now but to try and throw it around and create opportunities, because even with the conversion of this, they're still pretty far out of the game, Joe.
But even if they don't get that pill, they make it difficult for Jock Campbell to get on that pill, and he's going to be isolated, or they're going to just try to get the Heavies' head out of their game. Thus far, it's been the Heavies dictating play, and the Tigers really need to stifle them if they want to have any chance here at Ballymore today. And Eli Pills looks like he's finally got the kicking boots coming good, and it's 27 points to 13. And Nick Berry there just having a yarn to Hamish Richardson, the milkman. And Gale hangs this one. Plenty of airtime on that. But Milosevic fields it just outside his 22.
Stay there, Red. Yeah, mate.
Campbell goes infield, finds Gale. Back to Campbell. This is where he's dangerous.
But this is what we spoke about before, Joe. But you've got to make sure your kicks go out.
Oh, here we go, Seruru. Looking like Charles Barkley, the round man of the rebound, able to gobble that one up. But it's gone to the turf now, and Mac really puts that one on the toe. And that's a great kick there from the young winger, but just stays in field and carried back by Kennedy. Finds Taikato Simpson. And he's just shoveling it over to Toa, and Uru now with a little bit of space. Got a man outside him. Opts to take that one into contact. Oh, and charge down, Lanack. Good clean out coming in, Lillycrap. Murray in midfield now. Just spills the beans.
But again, we look at that charge down there from UQ, and I mean, East kicking game's got to be better. I mean, they're playing out of their 22 and kicking, so they can't kick out on the full. And if it's not for that intercept there from Uru, there's UQ men on the outside there, could be in space again. But the other thing there is, Joe, if you're putting the ball out, you're forcing UQ to go to their set piece. And we talk about how NASA hasn't been playing hooker for long.
No.
Ben Moen is so good in the air. Like, kick the ball out so you get an opportunity to win the ball back at set piece.
You've got three amazing line-out jumpers in Uru, Schneider and Moen, and they've lost, arguably, their most experienced campaigner in Angus Scott Young.
Exactly.
So I think the tactics have just been a little bit off here from the Tigers here today, but they're starting to find their rhythm a little bit. Speaking of tactics, their set piece is starting to pay some serious dividends for the Tigers boys.
Red standing up.
Yeah, SJ Tamala looked in a world of hurt there.
Yeah, big gorgeous George.
Got
Don't
right.
we love him?
Oh, don't we? Especially when he gets right under his man there, pops him and then just takes him for a walk.
He is a thick boy. That whole east front row, thick boy nation, that is for sure. And the cane toad absolutely drills a bunger, but doesn't find touch. And that's going to be knocked on there by Jock Campbell. You can hear the heavies saying contest. They know they've got to put some pressure at the line out, otherwise it sets too good of a platform for the Tigers.
Exactly right. No time left on the clock. They'll probably go for the maul, although the stadium clock seems to... Oh, no.
Yeah, Connor Mitchell going through, saying it was a maul. I thought he might have gotten there just in time, but the arriving troops...
Yeah, if you're the first one, no problem.
For the Tigers, able to get there. So they're saying some of the heavies had come in and set it up as a maul.
Exactly.
If it was just Connor Mitchell,
would have been fine.
So this is what the Tigers can do. They can just
if he doesn't engage, you're right to do that. Yeah, but it's
march their way upfield with ease.
And I tell you what, if East can score here and go into the break 27-20, that is not something I thought would happen after the first few minutes.
So the Tigers now, through their skipper, Ben Moen, calling the shots, finding Uru towards the back. And they're well set up here now. Early on, a little bit of defensive pressure coming in from the students. And Pills goes off the back, but they had that penalty advantage.
Yeah, it looked to me like there was a few penalties there that UQ might have given away. Yeah, East, obviously, you just backed yourself to go again here. They looked well set up given how messy that maul was.
And it's one of the hardest things to do, Chips, when that defensive maul comes in and actually spins you off to reset in a good position. And it goes to Moen in the middle of the line out. This is very well set up here for the Tigers, but great defensive pressure coming in from the heavies. And that's great work there from Connor Vestenco, locking that one up. And that is absolutely massive there from the students, nullifying that final attacking raid from the Tigers. And that is half-time here at Ballymore Stadium in our major semi-final. And it is the University of Queensland up over the minor premiers East Tigers, 27 points to 13. And Chips, run us through this.
Yeah, look, you can see the play working inside there. That looks like Fergus Lillycrap does really want to come through. Connor Mitchell, we can't see what happened on the other side of the maul, but a lot of UQ players coming through legally on this side, so really well spoiled.
And it looks like Connor Mitchell did come through the middle of that line-out, so that is brilliant play there by the experienced campaigner Connor Mitchell. And Connor Vest, hasn't he been immense early on in this match here, Ricky B?
Absolutely, and you know UQ forward pack as a whole been really strong at the breakdown in terms of making sure they get their own ball. And it wasn't something we were expecting, UQ coming out so quickly to blow East off the park. And East have done well to get back into it to a degree, but not scoring at the end of the half there, Jay, is going to make it really difficult in the second.
Now we're going to kick it down to the sideline where Marty Lippiett has UQ assistant coach Elton Berenger.
Thanks, boys. Elton, thanks for your time. The heavies came out sprinting in the first half, mate. You've obviously done your homework.
Yeah, we had a good week of training. We had a good look at East, so good warm-up. It was the start we were after. Obviously just had a couple of patches there where we sort of took our eye off the ball, and East are just too good. So we're in a big dogfight here.
Bit of a blow seeing Angus Scott Young leave the field with injury, but Ferg Sillycrap came on and really filled the shoes well.
Ferg's been such an important part of our campaign, last season and this season. So what a luxury to be able to bring him on.
And you narrowly avoided another East try there at the end of the first half. What's the plan for the second half to box this out and get a ticket to the big show in 2 weeks?
Yeah, look, I think there's some obvious things that we're doing that are working, and there's a couple of work-ons which we'll chat to the guys about now. East, with their kicking back to us, we're probably making a few bad decisions around our counter-attack. We'll fix that up. We'll have to get aggressive at scrum time, and we'll try and bring this home.
Elton, thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half. Go talk to you forward.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, boys. Back to you up top.
Marty and, of course, Elton Berenger for his time there at half-time. And, Chips, you heard him straight from the horse's mouth saying their counter-attack, it's been a little bit off, but also set-piece. They're going to have to front up at scrum time.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always the case. But, look, it's nothing that UQ haven't done before.
And on the Tigers side then, Ricky B, what do you think is going to be coming out of the mouth of Mudge? We heard Marty. UQ obviously done their homework, came out of the gates really early and put some pressure on the Tigers. The exact opposite, but they started to find themselves a little bit in that back end of the half.
Yeah, look, if I'm in the coaching room, I'm saying, look, we know we can score points. We've just got to play down the right end of the field. And how do we do that? Well, dominance at set piece. We know we've got a defensive lineup that can pick off anyone. We've got a scrum that can win us a penalty nearly every time. We've got to back those things, get the ball out, stop giving UQ easy ball around the halfway line on counter and giving them counter-attack pill, and try and get some penalties play down the other end through our set-piece dominance. I mean, it's pretty straightforward for East. You're not playing down the right end of the park.
Yeah, it is a territory game, especially when it comes to finals football. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go too far, because we're going to be bringing you all the action from Ballymore Stadium in this major semi-final. As it reads, it's 27 points to 13 in favour of the University of Queensland Rugby Club over the minor premiers East Tigers. But we'll be back very shortly to bring you all the action. Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ballymore Stadium as we see both sides, the East Tigers and the University of Queensland, taking to the field for the second half of this major semi-final of the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup. Ricky B, score reads 27-13. It has been pretty much all UQ that first half. They came out of the blocks firing, but the Tigers started to work their way back in.
Yeah, and really unfortunate they weren't able to come away with points there at the back end of the half. It would have been a completely different game, a completely different chat going into the half if it was 27-20. But East really have to make sure they're the first to score here. Uni, we know they will play the full 80 minutes. So East have got to come away with some form of points first. And they really need to turn that set-piece dominance into either a yellow card on UQ's end or something under the post.
But we've seen all year, East have been the most pragmatic by way of their tactics. They tend to play a different brand of footy depending on what they need to do because they've got the ability to do so. But today their tactics have been a little bit off, whether it's by way of the tactics themselves or the execution. They've just been a little bit off.
Yeah, correct. And I think the most obvious one, and we mentioned before half-time, is they're not putting the ball into touch, giving their set piece an opportunity. You can't give someone like Jock Campbell so much easy ball around the halfway line. If he doesn't get into space or put someone into space the first time, he will the second or third. So they've got to bring it into an arm wrestle, make it a bit of a dogfight, and really create as many set-piece opportunities as possible. They're just not doing that.
And we're just waiting now for the referees to come back from half-time. But as you said, Chips, it's about applying the blowtorch when we saw early on, they were taking points early on when they finally get a scrum penalty and take the points. They aren't putting it into touch and turning the screws in their line-out. They aren't really contesting too hard in the defensive line-out. They really need to put that blowtorch on.
Exactly right. The game's got away from them a little bit because they weren't able to play down the right end of the field. So big first 5-10 minutes here for East.
And Scott Gale gets us underway, puts that one up into the sun and goes straight through. Is Jack Frampton. Finds a bit of turf there, but on the hop. Goes into the hands of Jock Campbell, who finds Greeley unable to break that tackle there of the Beaver. And the ball is out. Great turnover. Gunn gets down on that quick. Pills puts that one on the toe. Looking to turn the heavies around, but fielded well there by Gale. And he's been told it's been carried back. It looked like he fielded that one inside the 22, so...
I'd like to see that again.
That's rugby though, Ricky B.
It is, J-Bor, it is.
And you can hear the crowd fizzing at this one. Van Neck now with the throw. Finds Schneider at the top of the jump. Toa into first receiver. Hayes.
Ooh, great carry there from Asiata. Exactly what they need.
And here we go. The Tigers looking red hot. Taikato Simpson just dinks that one back inside. Finds Kennedy and Asiata. Wrapped up well there by Maury.
Don't push it into him.
Van Neck just takes the settler.
Get back.
Pills finds Moen. Van Neck could be isolated. Does well to get that back now, Toa.
Oh, dear.
And an ugly pass there, just a little bit too far in front of Toa.
Yeah, you've rolled.
And the execution chips just a little bit off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Eli Pills has had a great season, and there's been a few uncharacteristic errors on his part. And it looked like they were doing all the right things. They're building phases, good, strong carries, but here we see that replay before.
Oh, no, well, Nick Berry did very well, called that one perfectly. We had just a couple of bludgers.
Yeah.
Keep those shoulders up, yeah?
And yeah, it looked like Toa was just a half a step off a little bit there. Looked like he just balked himself a little bit out of that. So,
but here's an opportunity for East now.
I was about to say, plenty of pressure surely coming on here. And look at George Francis absolutely gobbling up SJ Tamala, and he has munted that student's front row.
Yeah, that was ugly, and it's exactly what East need. Right now, go for another scrum. You've got to scrum for a yellow card here.
100%. They need to start putting some serious pressure on. George Francis, look at him. Absolutely smashed SJ Tamala there.
And Tamala just let go of his hooker there. I mean, they just completely splinter.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's not pretty.
No mean feat picking up a bloke the size of SJ Tamala. And still just looking to rack up the points, Chips. Look, it's smart semi-finals football, but we've seen the students just absolutely chopping up with ball in hand. They need to start bullying this students' outfit.
Exactly. Uni have been coming away with points every time they get into East 22, and it's good that East are coming away with points, but they need to start scoring tries, whether that's for like scrum penalty, forcing a try. Get someone off the park so you can go to the sideline for a maul, and you're mauling against one less player in the pack.
But they also need to start being more brutal, putting
absolutely
at the set piece, really turn the screws, start to bash them a little bit. If you bully them, it'll be hard for them to start coming away with points as they march their way upfield. But it's Matt Smith now who's hit hard by Wallace and co.
Knees to ground. Yes, that is inside.
And Toa puts that one on the toe, and again, another poor clearing kick just gives the students an opportunity. Greeley, two-pass shift. Bowley finds Gale now. Gale loses that one in contact.
It's a bit of a
Toa with an opportunity, goes inside Lanac. Picked up and dumped by Foley.
Yeah, a little bit lucky there, East. Con Foley was looking very dangerous there. But yeah, we come back to a poor exit, giving Uni ball, easy ball, counterattack opportunities, and yeah, lucky that Foley didn't make a bit more of an incident.
Pill there for Foley.
Great pill.
Tracking back, turn and face, and then Gale just looked like he was bobbled out there by Gunn.
I need you to stay down under pressure, okay? Don't stand up. Let's go, guys. Here's your mark. Come on.
About 5 minutes into the second half, the Tigers with a scrum just inside their own half.
Bind. Set. Hold.
They're turning the screws on.
And here
now.
we go.
Yeah. Got advantage.
They've got that penalty advantage. Pills looking to opt to take that one. And here we go, Chips. They're starting to bash them at the scrum. They need to start bullying them.
Exactly right. And, going to the line out here, slow it down again. Either maul it or play it in tight, build some phases and try and create an overlap out wide if you can't go through the middle. I mean, let's just put some phases together.
And Kennedy with his probing long touch finders gets that one up about 30-odd metres from
Across the board now, we've had 2 against the loose head, 2 against the tight head, and 1 against the hooker.
the Heavies try line.
Stay there.
And surely the tactic needs to come in to start putting that set piece to work. Great line out off the back, finds Uru. Gets up towards the Heavies 22. Milosevic picked up and body slammed by Connor Vest.
He could be in a bit of trouble there, though. It looked like Milosevic might have landed on his back or his
straight on
neck.
his head. It looked like, and this could be.
Lifting him up. 5 red. Nah.
Just the penalty?
Nah.
Very, very lucky, you'd have to say. It looked like he picked him up, pass a horizontal, and not only pass a horizontal, drove him head first into the turf. So, Nick Berry letting the boys play, but watch this, up, over.
Yeah,
Jeez, he is very lucky to not only stay on the field, but not be shown a red.
There we go, this will be the better angle.
He's just muscled down and awkward tackle.
Ooh.
So his shoulders were on the ground, luckily for his legs kicked up into the air, made it look worse than it was from the other angle, but still.
We've seen them go to the Pines several times.
Not wrong.
In the past. So, good on Nick Berry letting the boys play a bit of footy.
Well, and Eli Pills should punt this over, but and look, I would love nothing more than them to prove us wrong and they just keep the scoreboard ticking over as they work their way down here. But
what would Ben Rowan know?
No, but I do think Uni have just got so many points in them that they are going to get opportunities throughout this half and they're going to come away with 5 or 7 points.
That's it, right? I mean, 3 points, as you said early on in that first half, isn't going to do it against the heavies. They can just rack tries up. Very easy. We saw 3 tries in the first 10 minutes. They can do it. And Gale lets this one hang short. Brilliant kickoff, fielded well there, Vest. So here we go, the heavies now. Wallace gets through, but just dragged down by Pills. Richardson. And UQ getting up towards the 22 through Wallace. Mitchell now.
Yeah, high advantage, high tackle.
Got the penalty advantage now.
Still got
Going to look to
advantage
use
there,
this. Campbell.
You got advantage there.
He's
for a
so
high tackle.
dangerous. In tight quarters is Jock Campbell.
Yeah, he's got him over the shoulder there.
Good opportunity for Uni here to bang it over and
Guys, they have a shot.
they are having a shot. So that 3 points you just got for all that scrum dominance.
Has just been negated.
You know, whereas you pack down for another scrum, you got an opportunity to force a yellow card. Oh, that definitely looked like a knock-on.
Looked like he bobbled a little bit there did Jordan Lanack, but got away with it. And yeah, not much in that one. But that's it, Chips. That's the small things that can go wrong.
Exactly.
There wasn't much in it. He literally just clipped Connor Mitchell a little bit. Boom. Points back on the board.
Exactly
3
right.
points negated.
Although Campbell does have to kick it first, and he's been a little bit shaky today. But now that I've said that, he'll knock it over. Won't he, Jable?
Campbell strikes it well and splits the uprights. So that lead goes back out to 11 points in favour of the Red Heavies.
Yes.
And still half an hour or so to go here, Ricky B. But there is plenty of football left to play.
Yeah, exactly right. And tit for tat at the moment. You know, we'll see what happens off this kickoff, but East still with a lot of work to do. And geez, Jack Frampton can sky it, can't he?
Sorry.
Lets that one hang. Bringing rain with that one was Frampton. But here we go, Toa now with a great attacking opportunity. Could be isolated here. But Milosevic does well to get over that pill. Frampton goes through. Breaks that covering tackle of Vest. Fine Hayes goes back inside and goes straight on the chest there of Lanack. But Pills is on that, and he's got that covering latch coming in from Asiata. Great turnover there for the Tigers.
Yeah, exactly right. Needed that. Big play from Pills.
And you can hear the crowd starting to chant East, East, East as they work their way over the 22. Pills goes digging. Finds Francis.
Advantage, 3 red offside.
Nasser's over that. But they had that penalty advantage. SJ Tamala offside.
That's the first one. No.
You can hear Moen pressuring Berry there to go to the pocket. But great run there from Frampton. Haven't really seen him test the line yet. And that's one of the first opportunities he's sort of taken, and it's good. We know what a dangerous ball runner he is.
Well, the tactical season, obviously, Aiden Toa has been stepping into that 10 role from 15 when they bring Reece Jackson because Frampton has been injured. But Frampton's at his best when he's in those tight quarters and he's playing so close to the line and he's getting those jinky little runs in and he's getting the hands free. He needs to be stepping into first receiver a whole lot more and letting Toa play on the fringes because that's where Jack Frampton's at his best.
Absolutely. He's a hard man to tackle, and as we see East going for the corner now, and is he able to chew? Hasn't chewed off quite as many metres as he would have liked to there.
Yeah, not the best kick there from the Burdick and Cane toad Shane Kennedy, but still a fantastic opportunity here for the Tigers, about 10 metres out. And Van Neck has to stick this throw. And unable to do so, a bit too low there. So UQ
Stay there, please.
Well,
dig that one out.
maybe that's why they're taking the points.
And Gale puts that one on that trusty left boot. Gets up, but doesn't get outside the 22. So still a fantastic opportunity here for the Tigers. But gonna have to stick it once again. Great shot here. Great camera angle showing what Van Neck's looking at. And that's much better. Uru right at the tip top of the jump, and this is brilliantly set up now. Going to have to get the ball to the back of that line out, Van Neck. Very long setup here. Great work here from the Tigers. But the students coming through, and Lillicrap surely has come from an offside position there, but Van Neck does very well to get that ball back.
Here it is, let it come.
You're looking at that more, Jobo. I mean, you'd have to say East were set a little bit too high. They've got to drop their height a bit so they can get a bit more weight coming through. It's a bit too easy for UQ to stop it.
And this Heavies defence absolutely racing up and smashing the Tigers. Vest.
You, play the roll. You're fine, 9. 5, you've got to get out of there. You're affecting that clean out.
And good call there from Nick Berry. Great shot there by Vest. And even though he wasn't near the ball, was affecting that clean out. And that is something.
No, and I think it was Tom Milosevic who made sure he hit Vest right into where the ball was. Didn't miss him at all. Smart play from Milosevic there.
So now they're looking to rack up the points, as we said, once again, Chips. But you can see here, Vest smashes him.
Yeah.
And he's not necessarily affecting the breakdown, but you can see, as you said, Milosevic just getting him around the collar.
Making sure he's in the way.
So you'd have to say, look, Mick Heenan and co, surely they'd actually be looking at this as a bit of a win. Tigers putting that one in the corner. 2 lineouts now diffused and only coming away with 3 points.
Yeah, exactly right. Oh, no, that's off the post.
No points at all. It's bounced off the post and dribbled into touch. So massive win here for the students. This is absolutely huge.
But no, Heenan won't be happy with the penalties they're giving away at the breakdown. They're usually such an accurate team at the breakdown, UQ, and they are giving away a few too many now.
Yeah, you can see it there. Milosevic, as we said, just getting hold of Connor Vest a little bit. And here we go, some front row substitutions. SJ Tamala has come off.
Yep, just make sure they're behind you.
And that's Alex Sanga. Huge unit. Younger brother of Ferretti, formerly of the Melbourne Rebels. And here we go, Richie Asiata. Good low shot there from Maury. Ably supported by Wallace. And Uru now up over the half. Toa finds Frampton. Plenty of arriving Tigers there. Milosevic backs into contact. Maury's all over that. And it's bobbling around, and there's a turnover. Absolute coach killer.
It's been pretty characteristic of East Day, unfortunately. I mean, they're getting into some okay field positions like we saw before. Eli Pills throwing the pass and Toa not quite ready for it. Little knock on there. Not converting the easy 3 in front. Lineouts going wrong when they kick it into the 5 metres out. Just not very characteristic of East season, these little mistakes.
No, not at all. That's it, Ricky B. And it's a bit strange. I mean, so many have said, myself included, this season is somewhat East to lose. They have so much talent across the park, experience, the youngsters coming through, the set-piece dominance, and they've just been off the pace today.
They have. Uncharacteristic errors and not quite executing their game plan. So still time for them to do it. Here's a good opportunity.
And there we go. Now it's the Heavies' chance to get some scrum dominance.
And I understand that call because you look at the way he scrummaged there. Van Neck didn't move. He kind of swung his hips around a bit and they came up on the left-hand side. UQ stayed straighter than the East.
And a lot of the time as well, Chips, you've said before that if a tight head does angle in, any good loose head should be able to show that they are doing that by stepping off and actually driving straight and letting them bore in. And I think that's what Hamish Richardson did really well there. Just stepped around and let Van Neck go in. Quick to the front, Richardson. Great low chop there from Gunn, but Morrie does well to bounce back up. But unfortunately, said to have put that tackle affected, and had to put the pill down.
It's been a bit of a funny second half, Jobor. I mean, a bit scrappy when we compare it to the first half when there was a lot of good passages of play. I mean, both teams may be feeling the heat a bit, get a bit of fatigue in the legs, and errors starting to creep into both teams.
Yeah, I think the fatigue is starting to play a part. You can see both sides are starting to slow down a little bit in their execution has been a little bit off, and things like the breakdown and the set piece. I mean, as you said before, you've seen things like Pilsey not shooting the lights out from dead in front. So interesting to see how the heat might start to play a toll here. Speak of the devil there, Aidan Toa puts down a pretty easy ball on the ground. It's now Wood.
Advantage over from the knock on.
Full head of steam, and he's been great today, Wood. Strong carries all day. Really got Uni going forward.
Vest. Advantage over, we heard referee Nick Berry call.
No clear release.
The referee says no clear release, and the Tigers have been their own worst enemy today, Chips.
And you look at, I guess, how many mistakes they've made, penalties they've given away, and they're almost doing well to only be down 30-19. I mean, realistically, they could launch, if they can get a quick try in somewhere here, they're back in the game.
And they haven't really had too much ascendancy for any period of the game. I mean, at stages they've shown, building good phases and so on, but never really an extended period of actually owning this game.
So those penalties that they've been kicking have been keeping them in touch. They really just need to be next to score now. 20 minutes to go.
Great throw there. Nasser finds Mitchell at the back of the line out. And they pick up an easy 5 metres early on, and they splinter. This is well set up here from the Heavies.
Stop once.
Nick Berry says use it. Lanac just lets that one slip through his grasp. Pick and go Wood. Foley.
Has to go blue. Yeah, in the tackle.
And a knock on in the tackle there. So now advantage goes the way of UQ. Great little offload there from Campbell, but back to the scrum now.
Yeah, a lot of hands on hips there, and like we said, fatigue playing a part here. Scrappy footy from both teams.
Oh, you got to go forward before it goes around. Yeah, exactly. It's fun, so go through them first. Yeah.
And you heard right there, Reece Van Neck having a quick yarn to Nick Berry, and he said you got to go through them before you go round.
Not wrong.
Do we have subs here?
You see James Wood leaving the field, replaced by, I assume it would be TJ
Siakasini,
who only knows one way as well.
Yeah, The Coke machine with legs is big TJ Siakasini.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Hold!
Ready now!
And Wallace off the back now. Nearly breaks that tackle of Milosevic. Vesh, short ball, finds Sanger. Ball's lost backwards, says referee Nick Berry. Siakasini. Just a hint of the Tigers' defensive line being offside, but Nick Berry says all good.
Playing advantage, knock on.
And Twydale's on the field now in 21 for the Heavies. And just lost in contact.
Out, Red. Here's at 9.
Asiata. Oh, he's hit hard, Sanger.
Got all of him there.
Advantage over from knock on.
And referee Nick Berry says advantage over. So now Campbell with an opportunity. Isolated, you can hear the flooded call, but they do well to get that back. It's Siakasini up over the halfway. Van Neck, good turnover there from the tight head prop. And a knock on there from Richardson.
But he was a mile offside.
Use that, says Pills. Let's go, Eli Pills. He's isolated. But they were offside.
That's exactly what the Tigers need. Big play there from Reece Van Neck to force a turner. Now a couple of quick penalties, and Tigers looking down the other end of the park. If they score here, J-Ball, game on.
Game on, Ricky B. Morseus backs into it, and see you later, pal. Takes a hell of a big body to put a shot on Richie Asiata, that's for sure.
Stay there, Red.
Quick line out off the top, Uru. Toa. Great line there from Hayes. Gunn steps into half. Tigers flooding that one. Moen. He's been quiet today, has the former Wallaby skipper.
And East have just got to be patient here. We've seen them make mistakes in this part of the field before when they've had the ball. Just build some phases, try and get the advantage where you can, and then have a crack.
And they look to sing it here. Frampton just able to rein that one in. Van Neck off the right. Asiata breaks the tackle there of Vest. This is what the Tigers need. Vest is all over that. Schneider. Great defence in the tight stuff here from the students, but there's plenty of acreage on that far side. Hayes hits the turf. Kennedy. Francis. Great carry there from the loose head. Asiata now. Just a couple metres short are the Tigers.
Let it come. Stay there, Red.
Hills goes digging. He's got Milosevic. Goes himself. Milosevic was still lit up by Wallace for his troubles.
Last feet,
No half back now. Milosevic steps in. Pick and go here for the Tigers.
Fill in. Connor, get one.
You can hear the East faithful chanting. Toa.
Great tackle there from Gale.
And Twydale over the top.
Use.
Dogged defensive effort here from the students thus far. The Tigers just racking up the phases. Uru isolated. Milosevic has to go in.
Nasser's
And there
on
it
that.
is, the
Great
turnover.
Great turnover there from Nasser. Really impressive D from UQ there. You can see why they've done the business this time of the year so many times before.
And that is a bludger of a shank there. Only got about 10 or so metres up.
Okay.
So the Tigers still with a great opportunity, but that right there, Chips, that's a defensive effort that can really turn a game and come away with a dub for you.
Exactly
that sort of
right.
stuff gets you up.
That's finals footy defence right there.
You're off, mate. Yep.
Didn't need the cutout ball there.
No. Great scramble from UQ, and I'm not sure if we might see it here, but great tackle on Scotty Gale on Aidan Toa.
And it was actually Fergus Lillycrap there able to get over that
Was too.
Hang on, guys.
What a specimen Big George Francis is.
Thick Boy Nation. Did I see before Ruan
Smith, yeah, commented Thick Boy Nation. Absolutely loving it.
There's a guy.
One thick boy to another.
That's it. There's a guy that gets it.
You can appreciate it.
East, you good? We're good to go now.
But just a shade under 13 minutes here at Ballymore for our major semi-final. And it's the Students up over the Tigers, the minor premiers.
Oh.
An ugly work there at the front of the line out, so goes the way of the heavies. And it was the new man, Zach Crothers, the new young hooker.
The line-out really hasn't worked well for East today. A couple of missed opportunities inside UQ's 22 from line-out ball.
But again, still inside the heavies kill zone.
Okay.
Connor Mitchell just looking to get the boys a bit of a break. Smart play there from the experienced campaigner.
What's going on here? Yeah, okay.
Nick Berry is asking what's going on here. He's a former player himself, boys. I think he knows exactly what's going on, to be honest.
Sounded a bit dubious there, did Berry. No, Connor Mitchell has gone all game. He's been in the thick of it all game, so I'm not surprised if he is stinging.
Yeah, he'd be absolutely battling out there, wouldn't be Connor Mitchell. But back to the action now. It's the young hooker, Zach Crothers. And a great steal there, Connor Vest.
Off 6. Yeah, that's side 9.
Kalea, the new man, the young prop, out of Melbourne, gets up over the 22. We can see Gales moved into that halfback position. And Campbell puts that one on the toe. Doesn't find touch. So Taikato Simpson finds Toa. Breaks that first tackle but gets picked up and dumped for his efforts.
I want to talk to you now, okay? Because the penalties are counting now. All right, so have a talk to the boys. Discipline, particularly around the ruck area and offside, needs to improve. Another one down here, so I'm going to get a yellow card. Have a chat to him.
UQ been skirting with the offside line
a
for
little
quite
bit too
a while.
much today, it seems, Ricky B.
Yeah, been close to going to the bin for scrum. Now they're close to going to the bin for repeat infringements at breakdown and offside. I mean, they've done well to keep the full contingent on the park, you'd say.
And I think that's one of the... If the Tigers don't come away with a dub here today, you could probably say that's probably been what undoes them here in this major semi-final. They didn't turn the screws when they needed to. They didn't play high-tempo footy to get them, that defensive line and start to put pressure on the defensive line so that they started to give away penalties. They didn't put pressure on at the set piece. They haven't turned the screws when they needed to.
Not quite enough, and another issue at line out.
Sticking their line out. So, the young man, Zach Crothers, 0 from 3 since coming on for George Francis.
Use it, 11, use it.
And Nick Berry saying use it. And clearing kick just gets up over the 22.
Hey, 14, get out.
Good niggle there from 3GH, the third grade hooker, Sammy Edwards.
Yeah, that's why I've given you a chance there. You want me to... that?
But not a bad throw there, just the timing was a little off between
It's just been characteristic of the game for East, just a little bit off.
Like that. Didn't hit that one, but still falls fortunately here for the Tigers. Moen. Asiata.
Turnover's good. So was that.
So turnovers both ways, and it looks like it might be going back towards the students, and it has. Fergus Lillycrap.
And I think it's really worth mentioning at this point how good Lillycrap's been since he's come on the park. He's been an absolute menace at the breakdown, very disruptive, and getting a great turnover there. You would have thought UQ might have been in a bit of trouble with Angus Scott Young leaving the park, but like Elton said at the half-time, a great player to have coming off the bench in Lillycrap, and he's been really good for them today.
Yeah, and we just saw there Scotty Gale hobbling a little bit. They wouldn't be liking the looks of that. He's got that MCL strain he picked up against the Doggies a couple of weeks ago, and it went turnover there to Nasser, then back to the Beaver, and then Lillycrap straight on it. Geez, Josh Nash has been good around the park today, hasn't he? And his line-out's been much better.
It has.
Much
It's been very improved. But yeah, you're right. It's big.
Was much improved.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Off 19.
We'll just shut up.
Toa, Taikato Simpson with a little goosey. Hayes running that hard unders line that he just loves to do, and Pills puts that one over the top. It's contestable. And great work there by Campbell. Brilliant work there. Gets his side out of trouble.
That's passed in.
And that's passed in according to referee Nick Berry, and it's gone straight into touch. So they'll carry that one back if Kennedy doesn't go quick, which he doesn't.
Well, here's another opportunity for East, and they've really got to take it now. The
Because
clock
all
is
the
against
territory
them.
has been in their favour in this second half. They've been
Particularly,
down here for so long.
The last 10-15 minutes, they've had so many opportunities, and they've really got to come with some points here if any chance of winning this game. Got to go now. Oh, God. Is that a balk? I haven't
seen a balk in Premier Rugby in years.
Long time.
They're not in. Line out. Line out, right?
Oh, dear.
Jeez, it is just turned to mud in this second half.
Hang on. You got 9.
I mean, the line-out as a whole seems to be an issue for Australian rugby, so a lot of work-ons needed for both teams.
Speak of the devil, but great work there. Will Roach, the young flanker. Michael Gunn was all over that one, but he's just snuck through. And just things like that, not fielding that one on the full, makes it a little bit harder for Toa, but he does well. Great shot there, Edwards. Hills goes out of half, but he slung that one into the turf.
Still got advantage for a knock on.
UQ out the back, Nasser finds Campbell, and he's called advantage over, so here we go. Frampton gets the hands free. Zach Crothers, I think he hasn't heard the whistle.
He will be devastated.
Ben, it's on me.
Oh no, Nick Berry has called that one back. And the East crowd are absolutely
Don't get into
feeding
him.
it to him. Nick Berry saying that one's on him.
So, all right, guys, we're going.
So what do we think happened there, Joe Ball?
He's called it.
Boys, we're going.
He's called it as having not been a charge down.
Hey, guys, no,
that kick
I'm
from
going to get
Campbell.
going as soon as you get off.
And he called. Oh, no, it's come off the grill there of Zach Crothers, so not even off the hands.
Guys over here, please.
So that's, I think, what the Tigers were asking,
Okay,
saying,
back
is that
on.
not a charge down? And it's even come straight off the teeth.
There.
Oh,
Opportunity here, Tiggs. Let's go.
when it's just not your day, Chips.
It's not
It
your
is not
day.
your day.
We saw Matt Greeley hobbling in the background there as well, something that'll worry the students.
Fine. Set.
But here they come. Wallace does well to get that one off the back. Sia Cassini takes 3 blokes to bring him down. Murray. There's the intercept they need. Taikato Simpson unfortunately puts that down for the Tigers. And now Edwards. Back in field finds Mellor. Vess, he's been busy all day. Wallace opts to take that one into contact. Twydale, good show and go.
You can see a lot of tired bodies out there at the moment.
Off 9. Use.
Sia Cassini.
Off 9.
Twydale, good face ball, finds Edwards on the fringes, goes back infield. Edwards up over the 22. Great strong carry there.
Thank you. Well done, 9.
The heavies.
Oh,
Great load shot coming in, Crothers.
UQ doing really well to retain the pill here. Great phase play.
Jock Campbell. Plenty of tired bodies out there. Roach. Wallace just shovels that one onto his skipper. The heavies racking up the phases. Vest with another carry. Roach up over the 5.
No,
So
no,
we
6.
hear the heavies call go out, pick and go.
Out 6. Stay there, Blue.
And they are just going inch by inch here, Chips.
Stay there.
Geez, they look good doing it, J-Ball. There it is.
And there we go. Surely that has booked a spot in the 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup Grand Final in a couple weeks' time. And it's Alex Sanger picking up that final 5-pointer that extends it out to a 16-point lead. And the students were chuffed with that one.
And you'd absolutely love that as a forwards coach or being in the pack. You've just gone, I don't know how many metres, but as we look back on the replay there, East are going to be feel really hard done by.
It was actually a charge down there by Crothers, got his left hand up. So it was referee Nick Berry saying it wasn't a charge down, but that's footy, Ricky B. And then here, Alex Sanger. Jack Frampton had no chance, giving up about 60-odd kilos to the man.
No, but it was great phase play, great forward play by the heavies there, and that's exactly what you want, going into having that week off, knowing that you've just taken the minor premiers forward pack and marched them back, 20, 30 metres.
We see some of the Tigers faithful getting out early. Just a minute left to play here at Ballymore in this major semi-final. We've got a man down in backfield. It's Michael Gunn.
Another man who's gone all day, gives everything for the Tigers. Been great seeing him back in QPR footy, J-Ball.
Yeah, he's an absolute gun. An absolute freak.
I see what you did there.
Oh, I didn't even mean that.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Ricky B. You always take care of me, brother. Frampton hangs this one up and drops it just outside the 22. Wallace just looking to chew down the clock. Only seconds left in this major semi-final.
20 seconds. 25.
Use.
Still some serious D coming in. Asiata shooting up, but too little too late. The heavy's just winding down the clock. And Gale tries to put that one into touch, and eventually it's done so off the toe of Sam Edwards. And there we have it. The University of Queensland back-to-back grannies as they book themselves a spot here at Ballymore in 2 weeks' time with a 37 points to 19 victory over the East Tigers. The minor premiers unable to come away with a dub here today. But geez, Ricky B, it was a hard-fought match, wasn't it?
No, that second half was scrappy, but more what we were expecting of the game, a real arm wrestle. Tit for tat. UQ good enough. I mean, that first 3-4 minutes or 10 minutes where they got out to that 10-point lead really set the tone for the game. They were able to keep that, I guess, lead ahead of the Tigers, and they just couldn't claw it back. I mean, such a fast start, and East, too many mistakes in the UQ 22.
And in the second half, they actually started to get some ascendancy. They started to get some territory. They started to build phases and have possession. But they were their own worst enemies.
Absolutely.
Line-outs not going to hand. Scrums not being, taken advantage of. They're giving away a penalty here, or they knock it on. Small things that very easily coachable, but it just really wasn't their day, Chips.
No, not at all. Not the Tigers team we've seen all season. But that's the beauty of finals footy. If you're playing in the major semi, you get another crack at it. So they'll play the winner of Jeeps and Bond, which we'll see here tomorrow. And, yeah, plenty of work-ons there for the Tiggies.
And that's going to be an absolute corker of a match, but you have to say whoever goes through next week, be it Bond or Jeeps, they're going to be coming up against a Tigers side that are absolutely fanging to get stuck into it.
Oh, you can imagine what the training week's going to be like
Ooh.
for the Tigers, particularly that line. Yeah, they'll be, I dare say, running a few line-outs during the week.
Yeah, they're really going to have to put some pressure on their forward pack to make sure that we've seen so much purchase out of them this season, but just today their set piece just really wasn't as dominant as we have seen previously. But as we said, Chips, that is footy, and sometimes you come out firing, sometimes you don't. But for today, it was all the students. They come away 37 points to 19 over the minor premiers, the East Tigers. Chips, thanks very much for joining us, mate.
Absolute pleasure, Jay Ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to tune in to the live stream tomorrow as we see that minor semi-final between the first-timers, Bond University Rugby Club, going toe-to-toe with the perennial finalists in Jeeps Rugby Club. It's going to be an absolute belter from 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. Be sure to tune in, but in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow.
We're here down at full time. University 37, East 19 with head coach Mick Heenan. Heenan, congratulations on the win. The boys really came through.
Yeah, Marty. I mean, we got out to a bit of a lead there early, which was great, and we sort of hung tough for a 10 or 15 minute period in the second half where East were really coming at us. And it was good to finish with a bang as well. So yeah, there's a lot to like about it.
You got to be really happy of the opening ever from the boys in the first half. East, like you said, they did come back. You lost Angus Scott Young, but then in the second half, it was a real tug of war between both sides.
It was a proper semi-final. Like it was on at the breakdown. A lot of big hits. The set piece was a battle all day. And I'm pleased that we were able to come out on top.
And I'm surprised the boys don't have a bit of rash on their back from sitting inside their own 22 for so long in the second half. Was defence a big part of today's game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was always going to be. I mean, East really squeeze you in that 22 area. We knew there would be periods of the game we'd have to hang tough, and we did today.
So, mate, looking forward, you got 2 weeks off now. I guess there's going to be just a bit of study, a bit of recovering, but the grand final, probably your 35th grand final in about 10 years.
Mate, well, it doesn't guarantee, and as we all know, we know more painfully than a lot that winning today doesn't guarantee anything in 2 weeks' time. But obviously we've got a few sore bodies there. It was a physical game, and it'll be good to lick our wounds and review and just get better.
Mick Heenan, thanks so much. Enjoy the break, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Marty.
Yes, thanks very much, Marty. Great work there, being able to get something out of Mick Heenan, a man who, notorious for being a man of very few words. But you heard him right there, Chips. Very much what we were saying. It was a very tough game. The breakdown battle was immense. There were some huge shots coming in. They are going to be very, very fortunate to be able to take a week to, as you said, to lick their wounds.
Absolutely. And we saw Matt Greeley hobbling towards the end of the game. Angus Scott Young obviously went off early. That extra week means a lot when it comes to those niggles you all pick up at the end of the year.
And that's it. I mean, it's a shortened season, but it's been a brutal season. It's been a sprint to the finish line, as we've said. So for them to be able to have a week off, compose themselves, any niggles, they can actually take care of them a little bit. It's going to be absolutely massive.
And I think I know what they'll be doing during their couple of weeks, packing a few scrums, I think.
Working on that set piece. But now let's kick it down to Marty Lippitt, who's on the sidelines with Aiden Toa.
Thanks, Jay. We're down here with East fullback Aiden Toa. Aiden, really hard day at the office, mate.
Yeah, look, it was a tough game. Games are tough when you let teams get it to a 14-point lead early. I think 6 minutes in, we were 14-0 down. We were chasing the game from then on in. Mate, credit to you. They knew what they needed to do. Their breakdown was awesome. They probably played the conditions a little bit better. We had our chances at the end. I think we lost something like 5 lineouts in a row, and when you do that, you probably don't deserve to win games. But the benefit of finishing on top is we get another chance next week.
Mate, we're just going to talk about it. Through the season, you guys, by any team, kick the most during your games. Seems to be a real strategy you have. But today, we didn't see as much kicking from the back four. You, Shane, Eli, and Jack.
Yeah, look, I think the wind was a bit strong in the first half, and in hindsight, looking back, we probably should have kicked it a little bit more, played a bit smarter in the conditions. Because as you said, our set piece is, one of the strongest in the comp, and we really, we back it. Our defensive line out, our scrum. And we maybe went away from it a little bit today, but as I said, we get a second chance. We'll work on that during the week, and we'll come up next week with a better game plan.
Next week, you're going to be playing the winner of Bond and Jeeps. A bit of time for recovery. Do you think there's going to be a bit of soul searching as well in the next 7 days?
Look, I don't. As I said, we ended the regular season on top, so there's not much I don't think we need to change. We probably just need to fix our start. In finals footy, you don't get many second chances, and you've got to take your opportunities. And when you're down 40-0 early and you're chasing the game, and against a good team like Uni who will starve you of possession and play, and they've got quality players littered throughout their team. They won't let you back into the game pretty easily. So, nothing will change. We'll just go back. We'll fix the little things that we need to, and we'll come next week a better team.
Like you said, you get the reward of getting a second chance next week. If you have to pick between Bond or Jeeps, what do you think the Tigers are going to want?
Oh, look, they've both been playing outstanding footy. They're both different teams. Jeeps, I guess, are a lot more set-piece reliant. They've got a really good pack up front. And Bond, they're actually... they've been playing some really good footy. I've enjoyed watching them. They've got electric back three, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We'll go back and work on what we need to work on, and I just hope it's a good spectacle tomorrow.
And thanks so much for your time. Good luck for next week, and hopefully see you back here in 2 weeks' time.
Awesome, guys. Thank you.
Yes, thanks very much to East fullback Aidan Toa and Martin Lippier down on the sideline. But you heard it right there, Chips. He was just saying tactics, game plans, aggressiveness. They weren't up for it. They let them get out to a lead. So it's something that they can work on, but they're going to have to make sure they work on it come next week.
No, that's it. As you said, they went away from what's worked for them all through the season. They'll reassess, go back to what they do best, and they'll be spending a lot of time throwing lineouts this week.
I can only imagine, as you heard there, Aidan Toa saying they think that he thinks they went about 5 in a row that they didn't win, but didn't fall their way today. It went all the way of the University of Queensland Rugby Club, 37 points to 19 over the minor premiers, the East Tigers. They've booked themselves a shot in the grand final in a couple of weeks' time. The Tigers next week will be coming back to Ballymore to take on either the winner of either Bond or Jeeps tomorrow in our minor semi-final, which will be live from 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to tune in. My name's Jay Ball Staunton. Chips Glance, thanks very much for joining us.
Again, always a pleasure, Jay Ball.
And we'll see you all tomorrow.